You are listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Currently. It's game week. Game week. I don't know what's going on, man. Things are too hype in my household. Listen, I'm Dan Kooser. I'm here with Chris Wright, and we're here to talk all things KC Current and NWSL. Chris, talk to me. What's going on, man?
3 days away, sir. You know, this is
2 days away because people
Two?
are listening to this on a
Oh.
Thursday.
all right. 2 days away.
There you go.
Man, it's been a long off season, a fun off season, right? Like we've probably had the best off season of any team in the league, the most exciting off season, you know. But it's been long. It's been long. Man, we want to hop right back into it, you know.
It's been a little long. We got a lot of updates for everybody. I think there's some updates on who was training today, who wasn't training today. We got a couple signings to talk about. We got new little renderings of a cool little pitch club area, and maybe a little watch party information as well. So we're here to preview everything, man. Dude? Let's just get started. I mean, first of all, we wondered if more rookies would sign a contract. And sure enough, good things come in threes is what KC Current said. They signed Gabrielle Robinson, defender, goalkeeper Jordan Silkowitz, and midfielder Rock Chalk Rylan Childers. So that's that. Are you surprised by any of those? I mean, that makes 3 goalkeepers, which we assumed would happen. The others you imagine would get signed, or are you surprised by any of that?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Like you mentioned, we knew there'd be a third goalkeeper in there somewhere. Rylan, it's not, the position's a little surprising just because how stacked it is, but the player, love the player. It's not surprising. I think she would make any roster. So I'm really happy for her. Got to watch her play at KU, and now get to watch her play for the Current. She is signed through the 2023 season, so only this year. You mentioned Gabrielle Robinson. I think they took her as a player who's moldable. They can kind of fit into what their idea of a defender is. And, when she came out of the draft, a lot of people thought she was kind of raw, like a lot of raw ability, but maybe not as refined. I think they're just going to try and refine her as a player, and the finished product, I think, is what they're really excited about. And she is signed through the 2023 with an option of 2024.
Mm-hmm. And looks like they went ahead and put Jordan Silkowitz for the 2-year deal, right?
Yep.
All the way through next year. So, well, that's cool, man. General Manager Camille Ashton says we've been impressed with what all 3 players have done so far in preseason. They're a great fit culturally, and we're excited to see how they continue to develop. So little short-term deals for some women who weren't necessarily first-round picks or anything. I mean, Gabrielle Robinson was second round. Silkowitz was also second round, but Rylan Childers was 4th round. So it'll be interesting to see their development and see if they remain in Kansas City and see what happens. That's exciting, man. That gives us, 3 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 7 midfielders, 5 forwards. Roster's shaping up as it should because it's game week, as we mentioned. Shit's crazy, man. I'm excited to watch some NWSL.
I'm excited not just for the Current, obviously, but I'm just going to sit on my couch and watch all the games. That's what Vanessa and I do. If we can watch it, if it's on TV, we're going to watch it. So,
my goodness,
I'm super pumped.
Stuck glued to the tube all day. I dig it.
That's the plan. Eat some junk food and just sit there.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I think that, well, I don't even know what I was going to say. Worth noting is what you said here. Chloe Lagarzo was on loan to us, so we bought out her contract. And
she was on loan to an Australian team from us. Sorry.
Yes, and so we bought out her contract and waived her?
Yep.
Is that right?
That is right. There's no announcement or press release or anything like that, which is kind of surprising. But Yeah, I mean, but it's not surprising. She tore her ACL playing with Australia. Never really got a chance to play with Kansas City. At this point, probably just doesn't fit in the team. We got a lot of players. We got this roster is so deep; it's hard to add another player in there. So, I never got to really see her play for Kansas City, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, and wish her well. Hopefully, she lands somewhere. Dude, did you see the renderings of the KC Current Pitch Club? And why should we move our tickets to there? What can we do to convince our significant others that this is a great idea?
I mean, me being the person I am, I need to see the price, right? I know how much those things are.
You don't need to see the price. It'll just scare you. It'll scare you.
Probably.
I mean, we're not big drinkers or drinkers at all, really. So none of that really entices us, but the atmosphere and the environment is very attractive, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Inspired by KC's 1920s Art Deco architecture and the energy of an authentic dining car. So it kind of feels like you're in a freaking train. Like what? Like an Agatha Christie novel? It just sounds wild, right?
Oh man, I mean, you want to talk about they are imprinting, Kansas City community, Kansas City history into their team, right? Into their identity. I think that's super cool. I do want to see it, whether we buy those type of tickets or not. I certainly want to see it because that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, we'll see if we can't get some sort of tour, of course. Dude, you'll get like behind the scenes access to stuff. You'll be right there for player walkouts, close proximity to the pitch. You know it's bad though when they're like, they don't say the price. They're like, contact your representative, and it's like, oh boy, got to transfer you to their best salesperson to sell it to you. That's where it becomes scary. Call for more information. Oh boy.
My motto is if you have to ask how expensive it is or how much it is, you can't afford it. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. That's my life motto. But
that's true. But
maybe someday.
You're a frugal son of a gun, though. So let's not.
I am.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, it looks cool. I tell you that. Just seeing things, just the design of everything. Goddamn dining car. Sounds awesome.
Did you see the video that the Current released today?
What was it about?
It was just kind of like detailing how excited some of the Kansas City community is, and just have different people who might have like a restaurant or some kids are excited to see the Current, and it has the Current players watching this video on a big screen. Just kind of goes to show that this team knows who they're playing for. They're playing for Kansas City, and it was really cool. It was just kind of I was ready to run through a brick wall when I watched that. It felt like these players, this is not just a job. Like they love this city. They're going to play for this city. We got their back. They got ours. And it just kind of put that all into one package. It was awesome.
Is this on Twitter, probably somewhere?
Twitter, Instagram, any kind of social media.
I'll find it.
It was really cool,
Absolutely. Cool, man. Well, hey, anyone looking to watch the game this weekend, man, I guess KC Current's hosting a watch party over at Johnny's Tavern. It's free, open to the public, all that stuff. Looks like they got some specials, Tealmobile on sale, all that, or Tealmobile on site and all that stuff. So we've been to a couple watch parties before, and always a good time. So head out there if you're in the area. What else I got, man? You want to talk about the game this Saturday?
It's finally here, sir. It is finally here, man.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
I love a good afternoon game. I'm all about it.
So let's start with where they ended last year, right? And then let's kind of talk about a little bit about their offseason, because we want to paint the picture as to who they are. North
Carolina?
North Carolina.
Okay.
So they finished 7th last year. They won the Challenge Cup, and then they finished 7th. They barely missed out on the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're 9-5-8. Their run was led by Dabinia, Ordonez, and Caroline. Out of those 3 star players, only one of them are still there. So they've had a fair amount of turnover. As a matter of fact, heading into the preseason, North Carolina had only returned players that accounted for 56% of their regular season minutes. So just to paint the picture, they have a ton of turnover. They got a lot of new players. A lot of their preseason games were in Mexico, kind of behind some closed doors. So, yeah. So it's really kind of hard to judge. But, they lost Dabinia Ordonez, Carson Pickett, and a phenomenal player, and Abby Ursig. So,
quick question. Is Carson Pickett the one with one arm?
Yep.
Okay. I just remember seeing the video of her going up to another a young kid and who also has one arm, and they do like a little bump or whatever. So I hear that name and I just smile. Good deal.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's pretty touching. But she's amazing in her own right. She can service really well. Great cross.
Her corner kicks are dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
But where's she at now? Louisville? Yeah.
So as a part of that trade, the Courage got Emily Fox, U.S. national team defender. Okay. So they got a good defender. They acquired Tyler Lucy, Estelle Johnson. Johnson's a defender. Lucy kind of plays everywhere, all over the field, kind of a utility player. But they also have 2 kind of notable international signings. Danish forward, and I'm going to butcher this, Dan. I know you're smiling just knowing I'm going to read this off.
I'm ready for it.
Millie Jensen. I skipped the middle name. I'm not even going to try.
I probably would. I'd probably skip it.
Yep. A Danish forward. I believe she played in the top Swedish league. So she's a quality forward. And then Japanese forward, Narumi Miura.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. So, kind of the narrative is that there's a lot of unknowns. We don't know much about a lot of this team. I don't know what formation they're going to play in. I don't know what the roster is going to look like, but some players to watch on their team because they are going to be dangerous. I really do think with a lot of this unknown, that could be dangerous. We can't prepare for them as well. Mm-hmm. We don't know how they're going to play. We don't know what their lineup's going to be. We don't know what their new acquisitions are going to play like. So it's a lot of unknown. But obviously, Emily Fox, amazing defender. Caroline, she is incredibly fast. Dan, I know every time we go to a game and we watch a ball go over the top, it's Caroline, just a bolt of lightning chasing that ball down. So she's going to be probably one of their main attacking threats. And then they have a national team goalkeeper, Casey Murphy. So I think their defense is going to be pretty good. Can they score goals? I think is going to be the big question. And maybe somebody will step up.
For sure. It's exciting, man. It's weird to think that they lost some big names last year, and we know they were going through like a little bit of transition, a little misconduct over there, right? In North Carolina, not so great stuff going on, but in the league in general. But
right,
cool. Well, let's take a quick break and come back and talk a little more about this game. All right, let's do it.
Whether you're a Chiefs, Royals, Sporting KC, KC Current, K-State, KU, or Mizzou fan, we've got you covered. Thanks for watching this production of KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
Did you see us? Did you see us on the commercial?
I sure did.
With our best friend, Jenna Weinbrenner?
Yep. I had a huge smile, both then and now, watching that video. So.
Having a blast.
Yep.
Hey, quick side note, quick amendment to last week's episode. We were talking about Chardonnay Curran and Loera and if they were dating or not. Dude, it's been confirmed. We're just 2 stupid guys that don't know anything. And we don't want to speculate too much. It's like, no, they fucking confirmed it themselves. So there you go. Congrats. Woo! Love.
That's awesome.
Yeah. My wife told me, she goes, "You guys are ridiculous," and I was like, "Well, we don't know anything." So there you go, confirmed.
We are not the best people to be trying to figure this situation out.
Nah,
but
man.
I love it. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So this game, dude, a little more about this North Carolina game. They've always been a bit of a frustrating team the last couple of years when we played them. They would come to town, look faster than us. They smoked everyone in the Challenge Cup. But missing the playoffs last year like that, it's they probably want that, they got something to prove, but also have a lot of turnover. So those players don't know shit. Those players are all new, trying to just prove themselves. It's a whole new ball game for them. There it is. You put in your notes a lot of unknowns. So, and we all know first few weeks of any soccer season is the feeling out period, trying to see who you are. What's your team's identity? What kind of team are you? What are you going to be this season? So it's tough to make any kind of like real predictions. All you can do is just show your excitement and spout the facts. You know what I mean? Just put everything out there. This is what it is. Hopefully things work out.
You're absolutely right. I don't like to make predictions on week one because we really don't know anything, right?
Like, this is our first season, by the way, of this podcast. You and I have not done this for a season before, so this is exciting.
You made a good point. There are a lot of unknowns, a lot of first and second year players. They had a lot of draft picks last year. They had a lot of draft picks this year, so they're going to need those players to step up. Emily Gray, she was a top 5 pick last year. She didn't quite have the year that was expected of her. They're going to need these players to step up. Whether they do that well against Kansas City, I don't know. I have a feeling they're going to be defensively minded, which might be new for them. Last year, we were winning 4-3 against them, right? Do you remember those games? It came down. It was like 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. Like, those games are absolutely nuts. But they also had Dabinia and Ordonez. Ordonez was 4th, I think, in goals scored. So they lost so much offensive firepower. It's just I think it's going to be kind of a weird game, to be honest.
It's going to be very weird. And it's not, we're not playing at home. We're in North Carolina. So, and nice little stat you put here, by the way. And we just spoke about how a lot of turnover, a whole new team, really. North Carolina has returning players that accounted for 56% of their regular season minutes last year. That's just half their team. You know what I mean? So, a lot of learning curve. However, we got a lot of good additions too. We're going to see a lot of the same, but a lot of enhancements, I think. I don't know, man. I hope we don't come out timid. I hope we're not scared to see who we are. I hope we get out there and just prove who we are. They were like, nah, this is the team that was in the finals last year. This is the team that's going to go back there again this year. And just looking at, you even attached, this is awesome, Just Women's Sports Power Rankings by Claire Watkins. We're number 3 in these rankings. North Carolina is number 12. Tough to take into account power rankings, but they play a little factor sometimes in leagues. I mean, I look into them. It has to do with strength and consistency and form. So in this sense, we should beat the crap out of them.
Last year we were so used to being the underdog. Like we had a ton of first or second year players. We didn't have the star power that we have now. Games were incredibly close. I think we had a +1 goal difference or whatever, going to the finals, something crazy like that. I can't remember what it was, but we often had that underdog mentality. It's going to be a different identity now. We're no longer the underdog. I want to see kind of how our team approaches that. And if they accept the dominant role that we're expected to be. I think, contrastly, like you mentioned, the Courage don't have an identity that we know of, or we don't know what their identity is going to be. We should beat them. We should crush them. But we're going to get into this in a moment. it kind of feels like it could be a little bit of a trap game.
Oh,
Yeah, because we don't know what they got. They got a few international players. We should beat them, but we have some players kind of missing of our own here, right? Dabinia won't play. She won't play. Gatraw, DiBernardo, Hannah Gloss, as you like to pronounce it.
dude, I love it. Sounds like a diehard villain. I love it.
It does. And Chris and Hamilton were out of training today. So that
Not great.
Not great. Not great at all. I can honestly see Gatraw, DiBernardo, obviously Hannah's not going to play. And Dabinia, I can see all of them not playing. So we're missing some players on our own. But I will say this. Last year, we relied on rookies in first or second year players, went to the championship. The benefit of that is the fact that our team has quality depth. Those players that we're considering game changers got to play a lot of last season, So this is nothing new for them.
Yeah. No, very true. Dude, that's scary, right? I mean, like, those are some top players too. I mean, all new players except for Kristen Hamilton, who's been a stalwart on this team. She's just misreliable. You know what I mean? Playing all the time, playing all 90 minutes. So don't have any elaborations on that, right? Don't have any like what the extent of this holdout is from training. It is, we're recording this on Wednesday. So it could just be hey, a little sore today. Don't want to chance it. Let's see how it is tomorrow. Or it could be like, you're out. I mean, a lot of times when you don't practice on Wednesday, you don't play the weekend in most sports, right?
Right. I mean, she is that kind of player who, like you said, is a stalwart on this team. I think she could, but we don't, like you mentioned, we don't know. There's not enough transparency for us to know kind of what's going on there. I think as a fan of women's soccer in the NWSL, that's very frustrating because we really don't know. It's just like they're out and that's all we get. But Mimi Larson, she may play up top if that's the case. I guess we'll kind of wait and see. And I was trying to think of what formation we might play on Saturday, and it's all kind of up in the air, right? All these additions, yeah. I don't know what we're going to do. We may go back to our typical 3-5-2 kind of a thing. Since a lot of our new players won't play this game, we might kind of revert back to what we've been playing. But it's anybody's guess at this point.
Anybody's guess, man. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what things look like tomorrow, but I don't like that news of hearing some top exciting players and former exciting player not practicing. So, dude, finally, NWSL's in FIFA. There you go. Just took an extra week to get it done.
Did you see any of the screenshots or videos? It looks so cool, man. I saw
someone posted some bald goalkeeper for Canada and just said, who the fuck is this? I think it was just some stock character. Just they didn't finish or something like that. So funny.
It looked like, I don't know, like Lex Luthor or something like that.
So you saw it?
Yeah, I did. I shook my head.
Ridiculous. Everyone's like, that's not Canada's goalkeeper, but all right. Well, that's exciting. We'll have to get on there and play a game or two. I've yet to even play FIFA 23. I don't know what I'm waiting on, man.
Well,
life is busy.
I think you could buy it for $40 right now, or you could wait till Black Friday and get it for $30.
Probably.
And I know we mentioned it last podcast, but you owe me another chance, another shot.
I owe you nothing. What is this? You got a rematch clause? What is that?
I should have. It was a verbal contract.
Verbal contract with a rematch clause?
Yep.
I feel that I own the game, so I guess we could get you over to the house sometime and let's get it on.
Absolutely. I want it.
Well, hey, how I hate to embarrass you or anything, you know what I mean? So we'll just ease back into it and see how it goes. Hey, let's
appreciate that.
Let's take a second break. What do you think? Let's do it.
Take a break.
Whether you're a Chiefs, Royals, Sporting KC, KC Current, K-State, KU, or Mizzou fan, we've got you covered. Thanks for watching this production of KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
There you go. It's we're contractually obligated to do that, so it's that's why they pay us the big bucks, you guys.
And we get to see ourselves talking to Jenna. That's always a cool thing.
I have to keep pointing it out because Jimmy didn't make the reel, so I had to, point it out to him.
Shallowy made the reel, but Jimmy didn't.
Shallowy made the reel. Yeah, tough deal. But hey, we'll assume Jimmy was in the room when Shallowy was talking in the press room or whatever. So
that's very fair.
Shoot, man. Hey, we just rocked right through this news and stuff today. What else do we need to be talking about? Games at 1:00 on Saturday, Paramount Plus. They do a great broadcast, by the way. I'm Paramount Plus is slowly becoming one of my favorite subscription services, and not just for soccer content, but also because like all of their movies go on there. A lot of their shows are pretty sick. I don't know. What do you think? Are you enjoying Paramount Plus?
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Like, when we would go to sporting games and there was like a time conflict, or even if we left a current game, we'll pop on Paramount Plus and then we'll stream another game on the way home. Or, it's so accessible. You can full screen it, man, on the go. It's so easy. I like it a lot.
Yeah, totally. That and Apple are two of my favorite streaming services. A lot of people aren't happy with Apple with the whole MLS thing, but big fan.
I like it.
They just don't like that it's a paywall anyways to watch MLS. Okay. And it's like, okay, I mean, everything's a paywall to watch anything. So
paywall to watch the NWSL.
Yeah, Paramount Plus, man. So why don't y'all get some friends and start sharing some passwords? Where you been? Like this is 2023, man. Why aren't we sharing passwords?
Yeah. Why are we paying for things by ourselves?
Makes zero sense. Oh man, I feel that dude, I'm not feeling any bold predictions this weekend. I don't want to do that on the first game out. I don't even know how we look. I don't know how the lineup's going to look. All I can do is show my excitement and be happy to potentially see a winning team out there. Fresh off a runner-up at the Cup. It's exciting stuff. The storylines behind it, and eyes are going to be on us to see if we're still continuing that form that we ended the season with.
The expectations for us last year as a Kansas City team locally, I think they increased as time went on, right? Because we believed in our team. We had that winning streak that was like tied the longest winning streak. But but nationally, I don't know if they believed in us then. Now they do. And now with all these acquisitions we got, everybody thinks, or not everybody, but a lot of people think we're going to win it all or end in first place and win the Shield. I'm really curious to see how the team manages those expectations. I'll give you an example. There's a podcast out there, one of the biggest podcasts hosted by two awesome women, but they predicted Kansas City was going to finish first.
Oh boy.
It's becoming, it's becoming a life. It's getting a life of its own. And if we don't do well throughout the course of the year, for whatever reason, that's going to be a not so fun conversation or talking point around the city. And I'm not saying that will happen. Obviously, I think we're going to do really well, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind of. We're no longer happy just to be there. Right.
Yeah. I don't like I don't know. I always hate being picked to be first of anything. It's like, those expectations, but then again, you don't want to be picked last either. Cause then that's like, how dare these idiots, these fools pick us last, and
right.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe the pressure, maybe it's not pressure to the team. Maybe they don't care one way or the other what stupid pundits have to say. And they're just going to go out there and play their damn game and do their best. And If they end up on top, then there it is. But would certainly love to pad quite the advantage in this league early. Really pad some points in there, solidify a good spot, avoid any kind of midseason lull, and pray for everyone's health, man. Just hope everyone does, stays healthy.
And we talked about this when we were talking about the schedule, but we're a very deep team. There's some national team games out there, the Challenge Cup. How do these teams handle that workload? And I think our depth will help us through all of that. Last year, during a lot of the national team games, we jumped up quite a bit in points. We made up a lot of ground when the Alex Morgans or the Sophia Smiths, were on national team duty. So I mean, I know we take a break during the World Cup, but there's going to be national team duty running up, up until then, and I think we're suited well from a roster standpoint to soften that blow.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Time is here. Time is here. I'm excited. What else? We keep having these little 30-minute pods here. What's going on?
For anybody who just watches Kansas City, let's set the tone of the league with these power rankings by Claire Watkins, right? So she has OL Reign as the number one team in the league at the moment. The Wave is 2. Then the Current is 3. And then the Portland Thorns at 4. I mean, I think you could kind of take all 4 of those teams and mix and match, right? Like they're all going to be highly competitive. They're all going to be tough games to win. I honestly think that we should be top 2, but I'm not that kind of person who gets, I like to be humble. I'm a humble man. So,
I mean, dude, if you're going to be behind anyone, you'd be happy it's OL Reign and San Diego Wave. I kind of assume that the Portland Thorns would have been ahead of us as well. So,
and they had a tough injury in Janine Becky. She also plays for Canada. She tore her ACL. So I don't know if that had, any kind of factor in this.
It could.
But, do you have any, does that make sense? Do you think that we should finish top 3? Or do you think we should be even higher? Or is that kind of where generally you expect us to land?
Top 3, man, assuming that these signings all work out. I mean, that's kind of the expectation. Yeah. I mean, we are set up for success right now, and you just kind of need to wait and see how that lands. Everything's there. See if it comes together. And that's on head coach Matt Potter. That's on the team working together. Will they still have that playful, youthful energy that they had all year long last year, goofing around, goal celebrations? I mean, I assume as long as Labanta's on the team, everyone's going to have a good time. So if they're having fun, we're having fun, and that's important.
Absolutely. When this season started, the thing that stood out to me, when we follow sports, you take a look at how teams and rosters are built. Without a shadow of a doubt, the front office set this team up to be successful. We don't know what the result is going to be on the field, but at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we cannot blame this front office, right? They set us up to win. They set us up to succeed.
True.
And that's kind of, we got some of the best depth in the league. We got, a lot of star power and high impact players. So it's time to get started and get it done.
Get healthy and get going.
Yep. But we'll kind of continue with these power rankings real quickly. The Dash at 5, Pride at 6, Red Stars at 7. I don't see the Pride that high, to be honest. I kind of see them lower. They haven't really done anything. I believe they're bottom 3 last year. I don't know what would jump them up to 6, but
yeah, they were bottom of the barrel last year, man.
Yeah. I mean, they did get a good defender in the draft, and they got a good Brazilian forward, Adriana. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on. But at number 7, a team that lost half of their roster, it feels like, with the Red Stars. So that's kind of surprised they're that high, to be honest with you. But
well, now you're getting into the middle of the road here. Like, none of these matter. The middle of the road doesn't matter. It's not making up any of the exciting stuff. Like, it's just that could go either way, right? It could be towards the bottom. They could be towards the top. And this is preseason power rankings. So I'm like, I don't even, we don't read too much into power rankings in general, but it's definitely nice to have this kind of list as a benchmark. I don't know. I hate to think we're even in the top half of this thing. I don't know. I don't even know.
It's tough, man. Like I don't put much stock into this. I just like to I look at this as like a snapshot. At the beginning of the year, this is what people are thinking, and I'm sure the Courage use this as bulletin board material. Boom, they say we're last. Let's go show Kansas City, who's a top 3 team that we can compete.
Yeah.
And in this list, the Courage are 12. I definitely think that's kind of harsh. I think they're better than that. But we're going to find out on Saturday.
We will find out how bad they are. It's so hard to even say that right now. So it's a soccer game. There will be soccer. So,
all it takes is just us not getting that last touch to put it in the back of the net, and they have some odd deflection, right? And then they just park the bus.
Could be a CC Kaiser game, my friend. Could be a CC Kaiser game.
Very well could be. It very well could be.
I don't hate it.
Is there any players you're watching for Kansas City that you want them to, not put the game on their shoulders, but maybe have a big impact? Like it kind of flows through them.
It starts with the defense, right? Everything starts in the back. Would love to see Elizabeth Ball become that beast that we know that she is. She had some struggles towards the end of the season, right? But always class defender, quality defender, and I feel that it starts with her back there. She's all over the place and can distribute and is a monster and runs people down with the ball, goes shoulder to shoulder with them. So that's what I'm watching there. But also CC Kaiser with that long stride out on the wing. She can be pretty dangerous and has a knack for goal.
No, I completely agree. Somebody who I'm going to watch is Lowe.
Yeah.
I know we picked her as our preseason MVP, but with a lot of these veterans out, I feel like we're going to, she's going to need to facilitate our attack really well and put our forwards and wings in position to make a play. If she has a bad game, I think we have a bad game, but
well,
I don't think
I will be yelling. There will be some excitement in my basement before I go to the show. You came to my show, by the way. That was a good time.
Sure did. Oh man, it was amazing.
Oh.
I was there. Jimmy was there, and one of our friends and listeners, Chip, was also there.
Yeah.
So
Alex and his wife Brittany as well.
Yep, it was nice to catch up with everybody. But man, you are incredibly talented, sir.
All right. Let's knock it off here.
I mean, I don't know if you brought this up to get a few compliments, but you're gonna get them, sir. You're gonna get them.
Plugging the show a little bit. I mean, if you're in the area or outside the area, you should come down and see the show. Something Rotten at Topeka Civic Theater. It's a hell of a time.
And I asked you, how would you classify this show, or describe it to me? You can't.
Nah.
You absolutely can't.
It's tough, man. Basically, if you don't like Shakespeare, you should probably see this show. Very good time. He's kind of a villain, so to speak, and I tap dance. So hell of a time.
You did quite good, sir. We need those feet on the soccer field.
Listen, I can't do all that. Did you see me do a little jump knee tuck off a box? Did you see me jump off a box? For one, I feel really badass when I do that. Two, I'm landing on a hard floor with metal plated shoes. Naturally, I'm a little sore the next day. Good times. Oh. Well, I appreciate you coming. That was fun.
It was a good time.
I was glad we were able to hang afterwards. So, well, cool, man.
That's all I got. I'm just pumped. I'm just excited.
I'm
almost there.
we will, guys, we'll recap this game and look forward to the home opener next week. Really appreciate you tuning in with us. Things are, we'll be here all season. It's exciting stuff. So we are off and running. So if you need to get a hold of us, we're on Twitter and Instagram at No Other Pod, at Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright 21. You can email us, nootherpod@gmail.com. Feel free to leave us please leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Tell your friends, get people on board. KC Current might be grabbing a whole lot of new fans this year and the years to come as the stadium grows and everything. So if they're like, how can I learn about this team? Tell them to come find us. So we're always welcoming new listeners and stuff. So here on KC Sports Network. So, hey, we love you guys so much. From Chris and me, all our love to you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching this production of KC Sports Network, the fastest growing sports media network in Kansas City. Check out these videos that feature our team of more than 15 former players, insiders, and analysts bringing you the best Chiefs coverage you can find. Entertain, educate, inform. KC Sports Network.